Good afternoon. Welcome back to our channel. Hey, Obudu fam. How's everyone doing? I hope you're well. Thank God it's Thursday. It's almost Friday. How is your week going? I hope your week is going well. Thank you so much, everybody. Let me just shout out a few people here in the studio. Oh, Sister Gigi's in the building. Hi, sis. How are you? It's so nice to have you here tonight, which we need to hang out very soon. I've missed you. Welcome, welcome. KV. KVOM is here. Thank you, KV. Lady T, I see you. Thank you, everybody. Please give us a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. We are on Facebook now. So if you have not followed our Facebook page, I'm going to pin it at the top of this chat so you can join the group. We have a Facebook group. So we're trying to grow it because I'm told that it's good for expansion for us to be on all social media. Despite my feelings about Facebook, but I'm told that this is not personal. That I should do it. So after much convincing, I did it. I done it. I have done it. So the link is in the chat. If you're on Facebook, just follow the page and help us to grow. We are bringing the lights to the four corners of the world by the grace of God. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Thanks to all my returning subscribers. Those are my members that contribute a stipend to support me on this platform every month. And those who still use Patreon as well to support me every month. Thank you so much. I do not take your love and your support for granted. May the Lord bless and reward you handsomely. Thank you, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So tonight, I want to talk to you guys about a young lady who fits into this category that we call imported wives. You know, we have so many terminologies that we coined on this platform. One of them is imported wives. So if you're wondering what imported wife means, it simply means um passport passport bros. I shouldn't laugh. No, it's not a laughing matter, but you know how humor helps us to deal with some of these heavy things that we'll talk about here. You know how you have passport bros? It's the other side. Is men, mostly African men in the diaspora that go to Africa because some of them just, coincident, they marry, but mostly it's because they don't like the women who live in the West. They think the women in the West are too exposed, they are too assertive, and they prefer the traditional Nigerian women who live in Nigeria that have not been corrupted. Let me put it that way. Corrupted. That's a fallacy. The world is a global village now. Yeah, it's a micro world that we live in now. Ecosystem. That's what brother Ernest called it. It's an ecosystem. We live in an ecosystem now. So forget about it if you think that you're going to go to one place and you see one woman that will take what you think some other women will not take, especially when it's abusive in nature. Now, before I go through the story, I want to quickly say this. We have this ongoing narrative about women who are brought from Africa. Don't bring your wife abroad. Have you heard that before? I'm sure you have. If you're on social media, you would have heard it in one platform or the other, either on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you get your gossip from. You'd have heard it. Men, especially, are the ones that are always making these videos and saying, "Don't bring your wife abroad. Don't bring your wife." So it's actually a thing now where people go to Nigeria, marry, and leave their wives there. So they visit the wives. How many of you saw a video? Somebody was showing me a video that they said a certain area in Lagos. I can't remember the name of the area. is in Lagos mainland, and they said in that area there are a lot of married women whose husbands live abroad. And according to the person that is making the video, they are making a case that all these women, ha, that they are not resting one soon, that they are not sleeping, they are not resting, that they are busy, that the movement in that area is pium 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 pium. What they're trying to say in that video is that other men are sleeping with people's wives. All right, that they are sleeping with other men because their husbands live abroad and they don't see them. That's another. God will bless you. Jen, you seen the video, right? I was laughing. Somebody sent it to me. I was laughing. Ìgbà wo ni Mark ò ní kú? Mákù, ìjọ kan ni Mark máa kú. You can't eat your cake and you can't hit your cake and have it. It's not possible. If you say you're not going to bring your wife and you chose to go to Africa to go and marry, you don't want to marry the abroad women, and then you leave her there, other men will help you to be knocking her well. I mean, come on now. It's 2024. It's 2020. Everybody knows what they are looking for. So anyway, that's not the topic today. The topic is about an imported wife who said, I love my husband. And, I was very, very happy about, marrying my husband. I was doing very well in Nigeria. But, we are young and, it's going to be difficult to have a family. So, living apart. So, he brought me here. I had to quit my job, which was a really good job. Because, again, the narrative is that every woman wants to come abroad because women are so desperate. Yeah, men and women are desperate these days. That's the truth. Because of the condition or the situation of things in Nigeria and everywhere in Africa, if I can say so. People are just desperate. It's called survivor. Everybody wants to survive. So, yeah. But actually, the fact is that there are some people that are doing very well. They have good jobs and they have no intention of going abroad. Okay? But when you marry somebody who is from the abroad, then it becomes something that you need to do. Yeah. Uh, Esther said their husbands are also sleeping with other people, other women. Their husbands are also sleeping with other women. Why women don't go loud? Aha. Okay. Now women on the loud now. Not be Africa with it. It's called patriarchy. Now women on the loud. Never mind. Some of those women never see their husband for years. Yeah. You go just they talk for phone. They talk for phone. Bro, you can't eat your cake and have it. You cannot. If you marry your wife and leave her in Nigeria, somewhere down the line, if there's any paternity fraud or DNA, whatever, then you have yourself to blame. I'm not encouraging anybody to go and cheat. However, these things, these things happen. It does happen. So, this young lady is saying, I don't want to call the police on him. The in-laws are not helping the matter. They are saying marriage is a can. And when you open it, whatever you see, take it. My own that I have seen is slaps every day. He's a medical doctor. He's ordinarily a very sweet guy, but he's always beating me. How long am I going to be taking slaps? And I did make a joke the other day, and I told you guys that she said on one occasion that he slapped her 10 times. It made me laugh when we're talking. I'm like, did you count? I was like, Auntie B, I counted. Oh, she said she counts. I said, okay, now. So tonight, what would you advise a young girl who is in a situation like that? And I really want to hear from brothers today because you guys are the ones that always is your brotherhood that are always making all these videos about don't bring your wife abroad. What would you advise this young lady after you hear her story? She's saying that her husband is putting his hands on her and beating her, like properly beating her. And he's a medical doctor, and she's saying, I don't want to call the police. Okay, let me go through it. Now she's not able to come forward because obviously she's still in the situation, and I completely understand. And we're looking for some help for her. She said, my story is very long, and I might not write coherently, but I'll try to summarize. Kindly bear with me. I'm an Obodo fam. I've been a secret Obodo fam for at least 3 years and have been listening to the show. May God bless each and every one of you. I met my husband uh, in Nigeria, and we started dating. Um, by the time we met, I was in my 20s. Okay. Because of her security, I'm not going to disclose a lot of things. I'll just paraphrase them. So she was in her early 20s when they met. And she said, I had a very good job back in Nigeria and was happy with my life. But out of all the people that came to marry me, the suitors, he was the one that stood out because she is very career. I'm very career oriented. Let me just read it in first person because it was written in first person. I'm career oriented, and he knows that. He promised to support my dreams and all, and above all, we fell in love because he showed me the highest level of kindness and love. I truly felt like a princess. He also showed me love and kindness. Was nice to my parents and friends. He would check up my parents' health. He would buy gifts for my mom. He was a complete gentleman, and I didn't see any red flags in terms of the way he's now behaving in the abroad. Okay, so she said he was a perfect gentleman. She literally said that she used to go and thank God every day for bringing such a good man to her. You never really know people until you live with them, right? I digress. So we dated long distance for a number of years, about 3 years. Although he would visit frequently, and then we got married thereafter. And after we got married, I quit my job and packed up, came here to join him. But since the day one that I arrived in the abroad, he's been like a different person. She said it's almost like he's an actor, or that he was just acting to get her to agree to marry him, that she cannot reconcile the same thing that she's saying now, that is the same man that came to marry her in Nigeria. Because it's like a different person completely. She said, I never saw this side of him. He has a good side. He says he loves me. And whenever he puts his hands on me, I feel sorry for him. He will beg, he will cry, he will promise to go to therapy. I won't do it again. But she's saying, I believe his actions towards me may have been from his childhood experiences in terms of upbringing. And I think he doesn't know any better and needs help. Unfortunately, I feel like the scapegoat caught up in all this. I myself am not a perfect person. I am human and have made my mistakes. I do apologize if I'm rude. And I do say sorry to him if there's anything that is going on that I feel like I have done wrong. Right? Accountability, accountability, accountability. We love accountability. And she said, when I moved here, I realized that he had serious anger issues. Okay? So that's the underlying problem. Anger issues. Again, I refer you to my show with Man of Prestige. A couple of was literally maybe 3 Sundays ago, talking about managing conflict. People did not watch that video. Well, go and watch it, because a lot of people have anger issues, but they don't know how to handle it. So she said he has serious anger issues. He will complain about all the food that I make. He will tell me what brand of spices and condiments to use. Wow. And then he will start saying that he's not my mate, something he never mentioned, when we met. Now he's not using the age as a thing that, so there's a slight age gap between them, I think about maybe 10 years or so. He will get angry at me for the littlest things. He has issues with me going for, to exercise or going for walks. I've been an active runner back home, and he used to cheer me up. So when I was in Nigeria, I used to run, I exercise, and he used to enjoy it. He would cheer me up and tell me, "Oh, well done. At least it's good to be healthy." As a doctor, he understands the benefit of being physically active. But now it's a taboo. I can't do it anymore. He will give me rules about what I can do and what I cannot do. He will say, "Don't you know you are a married woman now? We are no longer dating." So things have changed. So she said, he's okay when he's not angry. He's normal. I put that normal in quotes. If you were, my camera was on, you see my hands up in the air. That's in quotes. And because I don't know what normal means. Normal is a word that is very subjective. But he turns into something else when he's angry. The first 6 months I was here living with him, I was depressed due to his anger. He will verbally abuse me and curse the living daylight out of me and my parents. He will insult my parents once he's angry. He will say I'm stupid for my parents are stupid for giving birth to a stupid woman like me. And the problems escalated even when she got pregnant. They had an argument. We had an argument, and he told me to get rid of the baby because he wants nothing to do with me during the argument. Unfortunately, she had a miscarriage. He said he hates me whenever he gets angry and has slapped me at least 10 to 15 times in the last few years. He will seize my things from me when he's angry, things like my phone, the wedding ring that he bought for us, my car. He will tell me not to touch anything that he has bought with his money, like the washing machine, the sofa, not to touch the washing machine and sofa. Chineke na God. She said the thing is that whenever he does all these horrible things, he gets really remorseful thereafter and he will start to beg and apologize to me. He tells me how much he loves me and that he doesn't mean these things because I made him angry. Hey, that's all shades of manipulation, gaslighting, red flag, anything you want to name it. Anybody that will always make you feel like, oh, look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Especially after beating you, say, look what you made me do. Auntie, run for your life. Because they are justifying their actions in a very sick and manipulative way. So we usually ask this question: why don't you beat up your colleagues at work, your bosses at work, when they do something? Because we all have these annoying colleagues. I know I have one. You have somebody you don't like. Some of you don't like your managers at work. You don't like some people you work with. Do you beat them up? No. You control yourself, right? Okay. So we know that every human being has the ability to control themselves. But this is about power. Abuse, especially physical abuse, is usually about control, power and control. You are my wife now. You belong to me. I own you. I paid your bride price. So you would do exactly what I tell you to do. You're a machine that I've programmed. And if you don't act accordingly, you go left. That's what it is. Yeah, so she went on to say he's usually apologetic and tells me, oh, if only you know how much I love you, I don't mean all these things. And he usually will attribute his anger and reactions of beating me to me being the reason he gets angry in the first place. That's what they call gaslighting. Yeah, making you feel like it's your fault. Yeah. What's Uzo saying? Adama, what are they saying about their Igbo brothers? Eh? Uzo holds all the Igbo men accountable because she's Igbo. And I actually like that. Because when it's coming from a fellow tribe, because Nigeria, we're always playing that card, tribal card. Oh, you can't tell me what to do because I'm this, I'm that. But if we hold ourselves accountable on those tribal lines, then you can't say nothing. So I like that. They should continue to hold their own kinsmen accountable because nobody tells you truth than your own blood, even if you don't like it. Okay, back to the story. Guys, are you liking the video? Please, if you don't like it, can I please employ you? I'm going to check the likes. Take a minute to like before I continue. Oh no, we don't even have up to 100 likes, and we have 541 people watching. Guys, please like. This can save somebody's life. This can literally save somebody's life, please. Abuse is not something that we joke with. Take a minute to give us a thumbs up before we continue. Mhm. Yes, definitely. On this in this situation. I'm not saying that it's only Igbo men that are abusive, but they are Igbo. Both of them are Igbo. Okay, but abuse though is not relating to tribe. Every tribe you have different kind of people. You still see somebody that will tell you that Igbo men are the most loving. But yes, on this occasion, unfortunately, this uncle is an Igbo man. Now let's get to control. She said, to the outside world, my husband is the most meek, quiet, kind gentleman ever. But to me, he's very controlling and wants me to do things his own way without questioning him. So he gives me instructions and insists I must follow them because he is the head of the house. So I want to say something about this briefly before I continue. Yes, the hierarchy of how the household is run in most Christian families, uh, we are very quick to say the man is the head of the family, he's the head, is the head. Yeah, nobody's dragging headship with anybody. However, you need to be under authority yourself as the head. So, again, if you want to claim that headship, that I'm the head, being a man does not automatically qualifies you to be the head. Okay, you need to be somebody under authority. You have to be a husband that is under authority, and the authority you are under is our Lord Jesus Christ. Since we are Christians, right, and we are using the Christian biblical example, you can't say I'm all and all. No, you also have to be under authority to God. And that's why he said, love husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave his life. So if you cannot give your life, then you don't understand the hierarchy that we're talking about. You must submit to someone. Okay? It's only when you submit to someone that you cannot demand that submission from your wife. But unfortunately, people don't understand this, so they just say, I'm the man. You must submit to me. A king does not need reassurance to be saying, I'm a king, I'm a king. Now, the crown on your head already tells the story that you are a king. Yeah. So, if you need to be quoting your kingship and, saying it, yeah, no, there's something wrong with that. You are not a king yet. Or you don't know your office. So, let me continue. I have called and reported him to his family members, his parents severally, and they've resolved issues repeatedly. But his parents, especially his mother, keeps telling me to help him. Hey, does it remind you of anything? Don't you know you should help him? That video we played of that auntie that said you should help him out of cheating. Yeah. So this mother is telling her daughter-in-law, help him out of anger. Help him out of not beating you. That he is a perfect son and the only problem is his anger problem. So his parents know he has anger issues. They said he spent too much money to bring me here. So I owe it to them to make this marriage work. That I should be humble. I should not question him. I should keep telling him sorry, sorry, sorry whenever he is angry. That their son is the kindest person on earth. How come he doesn't fight whenever he goes out, but fights me when he comes home? It means I am not making the home peaceful for him. Yes, that is the understanding of our parents, unfortunately, about abuse. And it is a very, very, very dangerous assumption. Um, she said that her parents told her to leave the marriage because and prioritize her happiness. Uh, because anytime she reports the matter to her parents, to his parents, they'll be acting like he's an angel and pointing out that he's not a devil. And even his siblings that are aware of his situation have said, you know what? Yeah, he has anger issues. If you love yourself, you have to run for your safety. Because he's always listen to this. His siblings said he's always had anger issues. They told the imported wife that their brother has had anger issues. So you can see the difference in the generation here. The parents are saying, "Oh, make him change," but the siblings are saying, "No, you gotta go. He's always been like this." So you can see that, the what do they call them, baby bloomers or whatever generation their name are, our fathers and mothers, their attitude towards abuse is different. But the younger, the Gen Z, the millennials, no. I mean, I love this generation so much because they don't stand for BS just because of ties, family, or whatever. They are telling this woman, you know what? Our brother has always been like this, so wrong. It's only Gen Z and millennials that can do that. The other older generation will say, no, find a way to fix it. Yeah, maybe it's because you are keeping quiet. She told me when we were talking that when the mother-in-law said, keep quiet for him, don't argue with him, she started to keep quiet whenever he wants to start. When she noticed that he would, talking back is something that, he will just make him go from 0 to 100 within 5 seconds. So she said, I started keeping quiet. She said, Auntie B, that it became worse. So you are ignoring me. It's not you I'm talking to. You think you are too good to listen to me. She said even that one made him even more madder. If there's any English like that, Ejo, it made him even more madder. So, you see, it is not what she's doing, it is who he is. He's got anger issues. The parents know that he has anger issues, but they need a woman to fix it. That is why he didn't marry a woman in the UK, because he knows that if he marries a woman here, his ass will be in jail. He will lose his license overnight. He cannot, as a doctor, whether you are working in the hospital, you're working in a GP surgery, whatever healthcare practice you're working in, your DBS, which is a criminal record check, it has to be spotless. Domestic violence, oh my God, you are out. First of all, they will suspend you even if they are still investigating. Anything that comes up that you were even arrested or police was called and you were given a warning, forget it. It will take the grace of God for you to practice. Ìlú òfin la wà. I keep saying it. We are in a ìlú òfin. Anybody that knows the English word, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá mi kọ. She said, okay, I usually have to ask his permission before I can go anywhere. If I'm traveling out of town 2 months ahead of time, I need to seek his permission. I must serve his dinner at 7 p.m. daily, every day. If I deviate and serve it 7:10 or 6:30 or 8 o'clock, is beating. He will start shouting at me. I dare not ask him to stop shouting because he will land me slap. I have to watch my tone around him in order for me not to sound rude to him. I must not talk back to him when he's arguing because he's not my mate. He's usually not happy when my friends visit, and unless I beg him. One time, the only family member that I have in the country who is like a big, really the relative of mine, was on his way to our house, and my husband wasn't happy about it and told me to tell him to go back. That he shouldn't come to his house. And I refused because This person is not even our mate. He's an uncle. And he was already on his way. Do you know what he did? He said, my husband went on to call my uncle and told him that it wasn't a good time for him to receive visitors and he should not come. He said, Auntie B, I cried my eyes out and I'm still apologizing to my extended family because the news went all out that my husband told my uncle not to come to our house. Currently, I'm in his bad books because I waved. When we went to church one day, I waved to the pastor as we were leaving. And he said, I'm becoming very friendly. Why am I becoming very friendly to men in public? I must do as he says because he is the head of the house. One time he got angry with me when my brother visited. I haven't seen my brother since I relocated. So he visited us. I stayed up late with my brother downstairs, gisting and catching up until midnight because before I retired to bed. That night in the room, my husband was so upset with me, saying that I do not know that I'm a married woman and shouldn't be giving my brother all my attention. He doesn't like any of my friends. He's very assertive and a no-nonsense person. So he says, my friend is very assertive and a no-nonsense person. So he says that she's wild and a bad influence on me. He complains about the clothes that I wear, the makeup, and I have a curfew. And the curfew is, oh my goodness, you can't make this thing up. The curfew is 6 to 8 p.m. Even my son that is 20 years old, his curfew is not 7 to 8 p.m. He will tell you, no, mom, I'm an adult now. 8 p.m. curfew. Okay. Or whenever it gets dark, because I am a married woman, and in his own words, the UK is very, very dangerous. Okay, there's some financial abuse going on as well. I'll go to that now very quickly. Guys, please give us a thumbs up, and I'm just go ahead and share my link because we are looking for help. So if you're feeling a certain kind of way, or you have some thoughts in your head regarding this situation, if she was your sister or your daughter, what would you advise her to do? Please jump in the studio. Now, finances. Before we got married, we had a discussion about how we would run our finances, and he told me that because of so, he grew up in a household where his father paid all the bills and everything. I grew up in a home where my mother supported my dad, but my dad was the breadwinner. However, he insisted that he would take care all the bills. He would take care of all the bills since he has a higher paying job and multiple streams of income. Okay. To my surprise, the next day after I landed in the UK, he brought a piece of paper and wrote that for every money that I make in this country, I must drop 50%. He also did not want me to work full time. He said I must work a maximum of 20 hours a week and only wanted me to apply to low paying jobs, low skills job. I rebelled and was secretly applying to proper jobs and have managed to build a little career in my field of specialization with a lot of boosts from him. He said the moment I started earning an okay amount of money, he went from asking me to drop 50% of my salary to 70% of my salary. And he then went on to say, I need to drop everything. So at the moment, she's dropping 70%. He wants to collect the remaining 30%. But she said, I have refused as this is an ongoing battle. He accuses me of not wanting to support him. Even if I earn a good salary, I cannot boast of even having savings of £1,000 in my account because I'm unable to save. I drop most of my income to the family account, which he monitors very closely by continuously asking me about how much I have saved, and would always tell me to spend on things, e.g. buy new things in the house. She put it the way she wrote. I like the way she broke the issues down. Now we are going to police issue. Guys, please give us a thumbs up. Welcome. We are talking about imported wife situation who is going through an abusive marriage from a man she said changed completely after she got to the UK. What should she do? She said she doesn't want to call police because he's a medical doctor and she doesn't want to spoil his record, but she's tired of collecting slaps. He slaps her and financially abuses her. There's emotional abuse as well. Okay, since I came here, it has been instilled in me by my husband and his parents that calling the police would get their son into problems since he's a doctor. And I will be the one that will be blamed for it. That I should try to resolve our issue secretly without involving the police. And I've spoken to some solicitors, some charity organizations, DV, charity organization, and even called the domestic violence helpline. But I've always done it anonymously as I do not want to spoil his DBS, which is the criminal record check, or get him into problems. Whenever he slaps me or get physical towards me and I scream, he accuses me that I'm screaming so that the neighbors will call the police. Hey, I'm a rinko. You are beating a child, you tell the child not to cry. Close your mouth. Close your mouth. So that neighbors will not hear. A grown woman is collecting slap and she cannot cry. Yeah. You are screaming so that the neighbors will call the police. He has also told his parents this. One lawyer has said that I should walk out and apply for whatever I need to stay in the UK. Second lawyer told me to report to the police, but tell them I do not want any actions and also to talk to my GP. But I know that doing this will get him into trouble. I've also asked my the organization that I work for if they can help me, but they have not given me an answer. So she's saying this is the last straw that broke the camel's back now. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading from my phone, so I'm not reading the comments. Yeah. So the link is in the comment section. Jump into the studio if you have an advice for this young lady. We had an argument last month and he gave me about 10 slaps. This is the 10 slap one that made me laugh. 10 slaps at once. Like he was slapping me right, left, right, left, right, left. At the time I chopped the third slap, I actually started talking back at him, calling him names because I was so sad and helpless. And he infuriated him the most. By the time I chopped the 10th slap and started hearing white noise in my ears, I ran out of the house. How do you wait until the slap are up to 10 before you will run? Some people are very resilient, Sha. When they say people are resilient, this is resilient to chop for serious abuse. 10 slaps. If it's me, one alone, I'm out. You wait for 10. 10. She said she was hearing white noise. 1, 2. Oh yeah, 1, 2. Basbos. Basbos. This is the typical description of basbos. Oh my God. She said I ran out. But I came back later that evening because I did not want to report. And then he knelt down and started crying and apologizing and promised to get therapy for anger management. He said he will never do it again. And he never sets out to hurt, as he never sets out to hurt me. Unfortunately, I know that it must happen again. It is just a question of when next I annoy him or he feels like I've done something he doesn't like. She said, since the 10 slaps incident, my demeanor and attitude has changed and I'm a bit withdrawn these days in the house. He's noticed this change and is on a mission to get me pregnant. You know, they don't have children yet. She said that when she got pregnant, there was an incident and, you know, she had a miscarriage. In case you are just joining. Okay? Now, he's trying to get me pregnant and he's always calculating my period and getting me pregnancy tests to do pregnancy tests. And she said, I've been in this country for 4 years. I want a way out. And I just want to find out from you, Obodo fam, please help me. Is there a way to get out of this without involving the police? I'm begging for advice. I know I sound silly for not wanting to report this, but please, I prefer it this way. I don't want to be the reason he loses his license. After all the slap, she said, I don't want to be the reason he loses his license. Wow. Sounds like a really good person. Yeah. Finally, he's always demanding respect from me. If I talk in a certain way or a certain tone, uh, or anything, is a problem. He accuses me of being rude and disrespectful. If I keep quiet, it's a problem. If I talk, it's a problem. He is the best of the best to his parents. But how long? I can't take this anymore. I don't want to buy. Please, I don't want to call the police. How can I get out of this? She doesn't have her, you know what you call green card in America? We call it indefinite leave here. So she doesn't have her indefinite leave to remain yet. All right. So I guess that's where the problem is because he's supposed to give it to her because she came on a spouse visa. So she came to you, good people of Obodo Farm. She doesn't want to call the police. She doesn't want to spoil his DBS, but she's tired of collecting slaps. What advice do you have for this young lady? Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Let me check the likes. Has the likes gone up? She's a really good girl, though. She's a really good girl. The likes are still not up to 200. Please, guys, give us a thumbs up if you are just joining. Because if it's somebody that likes Wahala, you can't give me 10 slaps and then I will be worrying about your DBS. First of all, I will not stay to collect 10 slaps. One slap is enough for me to call the police. But then again, we are different. Our level of resilience to abuse is different. I have zero. No, I have minus 100 tolerance to abuse. That's just my person. But some people can take it. I can't. And that's why I can beat my chest and tell you that nobody in this face of this earth has ever, not in marriage, not outside of marriage, not boyfriend, past relationship, have I ever tolerated. I don't even give the vibe anyway. So if you want to slap person, you fair look your face when now. Know whether you will slap this kind of person. I'm very tall and my height can be intimidating as well. 5'11". Those of you who have met me in real life know I'm a tall girl. I sit all the time, so people don't know that I'm tall. I'm quite tall. So before you slap me, you first think twice. Okay? But some people have the capacity for it. But this young lady is saying, I don't want to call the police. What advice do you have for her? Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah. Let's get some advice in here. Let's get some advice. Jen, you are the first in the studio, and you are in the studio with two devices.
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. I think he opened 2 pages, but I'm
It's
not sure.
good
I
now.
was trying to. Yeah, I was trying to. Is it fine now?
Yeah, it's good. I'm taking one of you out. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. I really felt inclined to ring in because of this case, because this kind of hits home, and the reason I say that is because if you've been in a certain relationship, I mean, I know it's not really okay to like sort of diagnose people and call names and things like that. But I'm just going to be really honest. This sounds so familiar
Mm-hmm.
that, and I've had people and people who have gone through this sort of situation, and it usually sounds as if it's different men, but it's as if you're talking about one person.
Yeah, is a personality, is a
Yes,
character.
so
Yeah.
the personality is so distinct that if you've been through it and
Mm-hmm.
someone says just a few things that the person is doing, you
Yeah.
already know what it is. right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into a lot of details because honestly, she's said so much. And the worst thing with hers is that he is physically abusive as well.
Yeah.
And the only way that this will go, so she's talking about her getting 50% and then 70%, and they haven't had a child yet. By the time she's into this, she may not even have control of her bank card. Like, this is never ever going to get better.
No.
Okay. It's
Unfortunately.
never going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be as blunt as I can with my advice. The first advice I have for her is do everything in your power not to have a child with this person.
God will bless
Okay?
you.
Because if it's like this now, she will never ever be able to co-parent with a sane mind with this individual. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He will make sure that he fights her through the courts in the name of seeing the child or whatever. If she decides to leave, she's never going to have that peace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he, well, kind of abandons her and the child. But if he's in the child's life, which is what normally is the case, then this will just continue. Like, it's a never-ending cycle. Okay.
Right.
So my
Mm-hmm.
first advice for her, as she hasn't, it sounds like it's a new marriage. And
No,
if she,
actually, it's been a couple of years.
well, I think she's very lucky that she hasn't had a child yet.
Yeah, she did
I,
get
I,
pregnant, but she lost it.
to be honest, I think God is fighting for her. That's all
I
I
told
can
her
say
too.
because
When I spoke to her, I
yeah,
said, you know what, your saving grace is that there's no child. Because
yeah,
that will not tie you down because you say, where am I going to go? I have a child. Let me try and
exactly.
make it work.
Exactly. So my first advice is do not have a child with this person. Secondly, from what she said, he seems like someone that, when you look at him outside, you wouldn't know that he's like this. So the
Yeah.
problem she will have is, first of all, he's a doctor, and
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't really expect someone who is a doctor here in the UK to have the nerves to do things like this,
Mm-hmm.
considering the fact that he's meant to be in a safeguarding position to
Mm-hmm.
safeguard someone who is in an abusive marriage.
Yeah.
So the problem she might have is, if she continues to keep this behind closed doors,
Mm-hmm.
it would be hard for anyone to believe her.
Yeah.
It will be incredibly hard for anyone to believe her, and
Mm-hmm.
she will never ever win it if it goes, she said, you said. So what she needs is to contact the Women's Aid or the DV support systems that are here secretly. He must not know about it. Secretly tell them everything that she is going through, and the police unfortunately need to come in, because if she decides to leave him, she will have to there has to be somewhere where she's documented
Yeah.
what is
She
happening.
risks, I think what you're trying to say is that without any formal complaints or any documentary of what he's done, she's at risk of deportation.
Exactly.
Mm,
Exactly. Because
mm,
how is it's going to be incredibly difficult for her to say, oh, he did this. He's going to deny it. And
of course.
if he finds out that she's even beginning to have an aha moment, or that she's beginning to think about fighting for herself, she will flip everything that he's done to her on her. And he
Mhm,
will claim that she's the one that's been doing all of that to him. So,
mhm,
without any independent person knowing what is happening, she doesn't have any case whatsoever.
mhm,
Whether there are children or no children, it will be very, very difficult for her to prove anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it will be safe for her, but what she can do is when he starts kicking off, if it's possible for her, another thing that will be helpful will be to secretly record with her phone when it's happening.
I don't
Because
think she can
then,
do that too. If that guy sees, if he sees a phone or he sees her recording, he can buy her. I would not advise her
yeah,
to do that because
yeah,
the anger issue is a,
that's
yeah.
dangerous. Yeah,
He has a really bad
yeah,
temper. He has a
yeah.
really bad
So
temper
that's
because
not
you
safe
know
for her.
she said that the parents advised her. She said they said to her, "Oh, try and make him change. So stop talking. Maybe because you are too, because she's a very intelligent. You see the way she documented everything she wrote. She wrote it. She bright, intelligent, educated young woman, right? They said keep
Yeah,
quiet. Then when he's talking, she said, Auntie B, it got worse when I if he's kicking off and I keep quiet. It's worse. He sees it as I'm ignoring him. I'm not listening. I'm doing like okay. He's invisible. Then everything will intensify. You see, you can win.
Auntie B, Auntie B, I'm telling you, no matter what she does, she will never win. It's never going to make him change. It's never going to make him become that man that she wants. Like these sort of men are, like when you say there's light at the end of the tunnel,
Mhm.
with such people, there's darkness. So as you get closer to the tunnel, it becomes darker. So it's two ways out. They eye the person slowly with all these things, or the person goes insane. It doesn't end any other way unless she gets herself out of that situation. And to be, I
Mm,
have not seen it's so peculiar. I don't want to call names, but
mm,
I can already tell what he is. And with
mhm.
people like that, it never gets better. It will
Yeah.
never get better. She's incredibly lucky that there are no children. What
Mhm,
that means is that she can pack her bag, take
mhm.
whatever is left of her now, because the more she stays, the longer it will eat into her mental health and her well-being and everything, and just disappear, move far away from wherever he is, and just start a new life.
All right.
Unfortunately, with the man's parents, I mean, if they're telling her to manage and stay, that's not what she needs now.
Mhm,
If her family is on her side and they're able to support her, that's all she needs.
mhm,
Again, people like this go for women who have empathy,
mhm,
women who
mhm,
are kind,
mhm,
women who are intelligent,
mhm.
beautiful, most times from rich families, because it kind of props their ego up. I mean, they don't like going for people who will be considered paupers or whatever. They like to have some of them like to have women who, when you're working with them, oh, she's this, she's that. It props their ego up. So if she has her family by her side, that's all she needs. But unfortunately, for her to be able to leave this situation and have an evidence, she will have to document it somewhere, either
Yeah, absolutely.
with the
Absolutely.
police or with
Mhm.
women's aid, or
Yeah,
else
because
it's got
again,
nothing.
yeah, thank you, Jen. Again, you're right. You're completely spot on. The reason why this needs to be documented, unfortunately, is because she hasn't got her permanent residence yet. So because you are on a spousal visa, remember, she said she left her job. She had an amazing job in Nigeria, had to leave for the marriage to come here and all that. If you don't have any evidence, because it's not what you know. Anything that has to do with you going to court, police, is about what you can prove. And that is simple logic. Everybody knows that. You might know the everything, but can you prove it? Without proof, you don't have any recourse, unfortunately. So I hear you, Jen. Thank you so much. You hardly call. I always see you in the studio. For you to call, I can feel the emotion in your voice. I think you've had a similar journey, and I'm wishing you light and love. Thank you so much for calling the show. Dr. Ife, how are you? Welcome. Please unmute yourself. Where are you calling us from? And what's
Hey,
your advice to this young lady?
hey, Auntie B. Good afternoon. I'm calling from Canada, Ontario.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah. Right now, the way because this thing is so relatable to me. Also, I went through the same process, but I made my own decision about 3 years ago to leave.
Right.
Yeah. I'll just go straight to the point.
Mm-hmm.
My advice for her is this: the first thing I see that she's struggling with is putting herself first.
Right.
She has to learn to put herself first. Enough of putting this guy first. She
Right.
has to be kind to herself
Mm-hmm.
and believe that it's never her fault
Yeah.
because she's struggling with that.
Someone said she's putting him first and he is
Mm.
putting himself first as well. I think it's
That
Rebecca
is how
Lisa
they
said
are.
that. Mm-hmm.
That is how they are. And this man is a big malignant N. I don't want to call the name, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That is how they are. They never change. In fact, the more you stay, the worse it becomes. She has to put herself first. Secondly, she should try as much as possible. No child with a capital letter. No child. Don't get pregnant for this man. The miscarriage you had was a sign from God for you to live.
Mm-hmm.
Don't see it as a bad, it's a good experience in this instance.
Mm-hmm.
No child. If possible, go get a job
Hmm.
because this guy will be doing everything to pump you up.
Yes. To keep her to make her stay. Yeah. That's
He will be calculating everything for you. You go pump your. I think I don't know the law in the UK. You can go get the contraceptive
it's
without
free.
your partner. Yeah,
It's free. Contraceptive is free here.
and
Which
just
partner?
do as if you never had it. Don't even discuss it with him.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly, she has to be more discreet now and more private
Right.
because these people are very manipulative. Now that he sees that she's waking up, he will want to reverse the whole thing, start love bombing her again at some point, just to hoover her back into his control. She has to be able to see that signs and keep evidence.
Hmm.
And to be, that was what helped me. My evidence
Hmm.
was what helped me. Like this thing that she said, he beat me up, did that. Take pictures, send it to your brother or any because you can delete it from your phone. That was what my old did. But
Hmm.
as I'm gathering my evidence, I was sending it out to my brother to
Hmm.
keep for me. And that was part of what helped me. If possible, some of the important conversation, don't do it verbally. Even after verbal conversation, try to send it through WhatsApp or anything just to have a trail. Once you do that, take a picture, send it out, delete it. Don't leave any trace because sincerely, these people are very smart. It's just that they are smart in a negative way.
Hmm.
Another one I want to say is this issue of I don't want to report him, I don't want to report him because you don't have paper yet. My sister, I want to believe that if you go report and they see all these things, in a way, they will look for a way to make you stay, even without him helping
So
you.
let me just say, Dr. Ife, thank you. Because I'm here and this is happening in the UK, I can tell you categorically that that's why they say the women who don't really want to marry men and they use them just to come here and they get out of the relationship. This is exactly what they use. It is the easiest way for you to get your paper.
Exactly.
It's the
Exactly.
easiest. That's
It's
why
so
people are, that's why
easy.
people actually abuse it. So you that you are genuinely going through it, it's a problem for you because you have empathy, like you said.
Yeah, because if you have your evidence and you go to these people, they will help you. And thank God you don't have children. Yes, even if they put you in a shelter, it's for a while. That
Yeah.
it will pass. It will
Yeah.
pass. And from what she's saying, she's well learned. She has her career before her. Another thing I want to say, Auntie B, when she reports and all these things kick off, they will put her in support groups that will make her. I think she doesn't even have confidence in herself.
Mm.
She doesn't have
No.
confidence in herself. Those support group will help her to build up her confidence, knowing that she's not alone
So I
in
think
this.
she's confident, but the problem is that because the parents, yeah, remember the mom is telling her, fix him. It's your
And to
job
be,
as a wife
I
fixing.
can relate with that so well. At
Hmm.
first, my parents were against me.
Hmm.
They kept on telling me that you are too stubborn, your mouth, this, that. What I did at some point, I stopped complaining to them. I did not, the only support system I had then was my younger brother. It was when it now got to that stage, my brother was the one that talked to them when I made up my mind that I'm done. You
Hmm.
understand? When you start making this move, she has to be very discreet because a lot of distractions will come. They
Right.
want to talk. Yeah, even church, you want to, this guy will go to people that you know you will listen to just to make you come back to him. I'm
Because
telling you what to do.
abusers never, they don't want their praise to leave. They don't want you
I'm
to leave.
telling you because it's not easy to get someone like her, but they want to make you feel as if they are the trophy, but they know you are the, like, everything they have, all their confidence, all their everything is because of you. They don't go for anyhow people. They go for strong women, empathetic women. That's why they mess you up like this.
Hmm.
Another thing I want to say is that she should try as much as possible to be financially independent at this moment. Don't declare your finances to him again. Mine, every time you ask me, how much do you have in your account? I will just open up and tell him. The next thing, he'll start borrowing money. He will make sure that I don't have a dime so that I'll keep coming back to him. And when I go back to him, he will put me on that condition. And that condition, he will, the cycle continues like that. She should make sure she's financially independent. This is the time for her to stand her ground and learn to say no. You
Hmm.
have to put 70%. She will say no.
Yeah.
If possible, oh, I had to open another account separate. What
She
my,
said that he made her sign. He's serious. He made her sign an agreement.
he knows what he's doing, Auntie B.
He
He
made her
knows.
sign. I mean, do you feel sometimes that, with imported wife situation, that they are trying to make you pay for whatever money they spent in bringing you to the abroad? Is that what it is?
To me, not really. I would want to say that it's because they feel like once you have that financial independence, it's a big deal for them. Money is, so much believe in financial control. They know that anything you want to do, once they can control your finances, you are incapacitated. You cannot do anything.
Mm.
Yeah, what I did was I secretly opened another account
Right.
and I started
Leave
dividing
it
my money.
well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was what I did. And in fact, I didn't keep that account in the house. I kept with someone else somewhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And as much as possible, and to be at this stage, I know it's not easy. She should limit contact even in the house. What I mean by that is this: whatever the man is saying, even if you are not in agreement with it,
Mm.
mm, okay, because you know what you're planning.
She said
Because
that one is even worse, so it still beats her for that.
Auntie B, at first it will get worse, but with time, based on what happened to me, they'll start telling you don't talk. They'll be like, oh, okay. But at some point, they'll just leave you. At that point is when their love bombing and hoovering will start. But you have to know that it's a plan, it's a gimmick for you to go back into their control. She should learn to limit contact if possible. When he's around, talk. I'm not saying she's stupid or something, but talk like anything that will make him feel like, because at this point you are planning your escape if she wants to.
Mm.
She has to learn to plan her escape. What I did, Auntie B, I packed a small bag, put under my bed, like I call it like my escape bag. That anything I can just, but if she can do something like that, thank God she doesn't have children. It will be easy for her.
Mm.
And she should be discreet with her plans. And
Right.
she cannot do this alone. She needs to report.
Mm.
Him losing his license is never her fault. It's his behavior that will make him lose his license, not you. She has
Mm.
to forgive herself. She's finding that difficult. Once she learns to forgive herself that it's not my fault, that will open a whole chapter in her head and she'll be able to make the right move. So that's just my little contribution this afternoon. Thank you, Auntie B. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ife. I really appreciate you, my darling doctor in the Canada. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I wish it was possible to say, oh, it will change. But we know abusers don't change. They don't, especially those who do not even agree that they are abusive in nature. Somebody that will beat you and say, look what you made me do. So we need to start talking more about, why are people growing up to be abusive? Why? Is it that they saw their fathers beating their mothers? Why? Because obviously, from everything this young lady has said, the parents knows. They know. And that's why the younger one said, leave him. He's always been like this. He has anger issues. Nobody is born with anger issues, but for somebody that is not accountable and doesn't even want to work on themselves, they are in danger. They're in danger. Yeah. So yeah, I'm never going to advise any person, whether you are a woman, you are a man, you are a dog or cat, to stay in a situation that can literally end your life. I won't do it all. I will not have anybody's blood on my hand. Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́. Beloved, welcome, sis. Hallelujah. Oh,
Hallelujah, sister. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are
I'm
you?
I'm very well. I'm just lowering down my volume. You're doing an amazing job. And I just thought this is one of my to go to. So I must call in and advise this young lady. As a professional, I hope she can hear me.
She will. Thank you.
Thank you. So what I've done in Lovely is that I've made them as a point, and this is just my own advice, because what she's asking for is for us to advise her. So the first thing I'm going to say to her is she really needs to be very brave.
Mm-hmm.
And in her bravery, this is what she needs to do. Because
Mm-hmm.
if she was to come to me, if I was to ever meet her as a clinician, this is what I'm going to be saying to her. The first thing I'm going to be saying to her is I've heard what she said about, like his family and her family saying, she should mind the way she is around him. Now, this guy will never change with you. He has opted to be an abusive person to you. There's nothing in the world that you're going to do. He will never change. Now, he might change with somebody else because you're going to leave him. I'm going to pray for you that you will leave him. He might change with somebody else, but that is not your problem. He will
Mm-hmm.
never change. The
Mm-hmm.
next thing that you need to do, young lady, is you need to call the police. You have to call the police. Because with abusers, they never change. They never stop. They go from gear 1 to gear 2 to gear 3 to gear finished. That is the
Mm-hmm.
end of your life. It will
Mm-hmm.
never change. You are very important. Now, the other thing I'm going to say to her is I heard what she said about she's been in the country for 4 years. Lovely. Indefinite stay is not the deal in this
Mm-hmm.
world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you are in the UK, and I hear what you're saying about you've been here for 4 years, you've been here, da 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 da. Indefinite stay is not the deal. Nigeria is not that bad. If you're not from Nigeria, apologies if I've said Nigeria, wherever you are from in the world, that country is not that bad. For you to sit in such a despicable environment and be going through such despicable thing, for somebody to slap you 10 times and you
Yeah.
are able as a human being to count it, one, two, that, to, you are a human being. You are not an animal.
Yeah.
You should not stay in this situation.
And by the
Wherever you are
way,
from, say that again. Yes.
sis, sorry
Mm,
to interject. By the way, you
mm.
can't do that to an animal in this country.
You
It's
know what I'm
called animal
saying?
cruelty. You will be
Abina,
arrested for doing that to a dog.
immediately,
Yes.
immediately.
Yeah. You can't do that.
Yeah, you know. And I'm going to say to her that, in as much as, other people might say, oh, you are saying it because you're here. For anybody that's hearing or listening in the world that is going to watch this later, UK is not the goal. It's not the goal. You've been here for 4 years. You had a job wherever you have been in. Being here is not the goal. So don't think, oh, I must stay here. Like they will say, we die here. No, you're not dying here. You're not dying in this situation. You're going to be brave. You're going to call the police. And finally, your life matters. I want you to listen to what everybody is saying. I know that we absolutely care for you. We want for you to do the best that you can for yourself. Your life matters. I'm so sorry for you that your family, they are not listening at the moment, but sometimes situation makes them not to listen. Their own time. That is their own time,
Mhm.
whereby we will for it. No, we are not for it nonsense. We are
Yeah.
not for it being hit. We are not for it being slapped. We are not for it being spoken to, being ignored in our own home. What we want in a marriage is love, affection, attention, for somebody to care for you, to be taken to Dubai, to be taken to Streatham on a staycation. That is what you need. You don't need somebody slapping you. So my advice for you is call the police. Please call the police today. Call the police tomorrow if you don't want to call tonight, but call the police and leave. This gentleman is never going to change. It's never going
Thank
to
you.
change. He's opted for this. It's never going to change. I'm so sad for you, but I'm going to pray for you. Thank you so much, Miss B.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
thank you, thank
Thank you,
you,
sis.
thank
I
you.
appreciate you. God bless
I
you.
don't know where you put all this thing in your heart, but gosh, we love you. We love you, my
Thank
darling.
you.
We love
I
you.
love you
Take
too.
care. Have
Thank
a
you,
good
sis.
evening.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much, sister. Beloved. That's my Christian sister. Love you loads. Okay, we got someone in the studio that says, I'm going through this. I'm going to bring her in a minute. But I first of all want to read what Kuburat said. Kuburat, you're my fam. I got mad love for you. And Kubura said he's probably taking out the frustration experience from his patient on her and using her as a stress punching bag. He should face his NHS patients and colleagues that are frustrating him. Simple. You are right. You are completely right. When people don't train here, and if they are not used to the work ethics around here, a lot of people come here because they want to make money. When they come to the abroad, it's all about the dollars, pounds, and whatever money they want to make. But they are not used to the work culture here. Okay? In Nigeria, it's a god as a doctor. It's a small god, right? But yeah, it's probably a junior doctor somewhere that has all these consultants and all these big people. Hospital administration is big. If he's working in a trust, he has a lot of people ahead on top of him. So he actually told her when I was talking to her on one occasion that he cannot take out his frustration out at work. So that's why when he comes home, he's very frustrated. And he also sounds to me like someone who doesn't like his job. Maybe he doesn't enjoy being a doctor. Maybe the patients are rude. Or, it's not always easy working with patients in this part of the world. Some of them are although it's not tolerated, but some of them can be abusive to you. So you are completely right about him taking out that frustration. He should go to the gym. If you are frustrated, go and hit punching bags. Go there. All those 10 slap is for punching bags. It's not for your wife. It's not acceptable. I will never accept abuse for anybody. It's not. Okay, let's move on, guys. We're about moving very quickly to the end. Matilda, please unmute yourself, my darling. Where are you joining us from? And what do you have to say?
Hello, Auntie B. Thank you so much for everything, all that you have been doing. Actually, this one of your videos kind of encouraged me into the bold step I took. I was once in her shoes, and listening to the previous videos with the other ladies that you had calls with, and I kind of got courage from that to help me. So first, I want to encourage her, to tell her that she's very perfect. It's not her fault at all. And I understand that she has a very kind heart, and she's a very kind person. So those kind of people take advantage of people that have kindness in their heart and love. So I will first advise her that let her calm down and take it easy and think about herself first, because after all, the way my mom used to tell me that I did not give birth to you with somebody. So she's first a human being before him, and she should first think about herself and take care of herself first before any other person. So what I did in my own case was I put like hidden cameras, because him, it was even involved with like drugs taking and everything. So I put like hidden cameras, because without evidence there's nothing you can really, you cannot say anything. It would be like his words against yours, and there's nothing you can say. So I will advise her to get evidence first. Even though she don't want to report, she should have evidence that okay, this is what he has been doing, in case it comes up later and she has proof to show for it. So, and if she wants to leave, let her not have a child, because my own situation is I made it, not that I made a mistake, I was scared, I didn't know who to talk to, and I had a son, and with a child, it was very messy. It was very, very messy. And I kind of stayed in the situation again because he was like, if he does not have access to the child, I will lose the child as well. So I will advise her to first leave and get evidence. If she don't want to have anything to do with him, let her get an evidence and keep for her future, because people like that will definitely come up and maybe telling people things about you that are not true, because I was once in that shoes as well. And let her not have a child, because if there's a child, it's going to get connected to him forever, and there's just nothing she can do about it. So that's my advice.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that our videos and the shows that we do here was able to help you. And you said you are out of the situation now, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you are in a safe place with your son?
Yes.
Oh, congratulations. I like your
Thank
mom.
you.
Your mom said that he didn't give birth to you with someone else. That's like my mother.
Yes.
That's what my mother would say. Some mothers
Mm,
are just amazing. Yeah. Thank God
yeah.
for your life and thank God for safety. Life first though, because now God
Yes, so.
I lose. My
Yes,
dear.
ma.
All right. Take care of yourself and I wish you the very best of luck in the future. Okay. I will come to Shirley and then Tonya, you are next. Hi, Shirley. Please unmute yourself. Where you join us from and what do you have to say to this young lady?
Hi, MTV. I'm from the UK.
Okay.
Um, so I listened to your videos. So I just thought I should call in. I just was so irritated by the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just very irritating. So I would just say to the girl that she's in the UK, so at least the law's on her side here. So
Mm-hmm.
if she's going to do anything, this is the country she should start doing it in, if that makes sense. Like compared to if this was happening in maybe Nigeria, there might not be enough, I guess, facilities for her.
Mm-hmm.
So she should take advantage of it. The next thing is she shouldn't protect him. And luckily for her, she doesn't have any children by him. So I know how women, especially Nigerian women, especially African women, think, oh my God, I can't report him because my kids and my kid, that's my son's dad. He's not anybody's father. So you don't need to protect him. He needs to protect himself. If he wants to protect himself, he should follow the law and not be abusing people. And then he wouldn't have to deal with the authorities. It's just simple as that.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you feel, Shirley, when they say, because the other day we were having this conversation and they're like, women have more power here, women have more upper hand here than Nigeria. Women compared to Nigeria, that women have more power. In a case like this where there is a lot of domestic violence going on, there's financial abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, and people will still look at it as, the country empowers women to be single mothers. Is the environment that empowers it because
well,
the
well,
women are empowered. What would you
single
say to
mother.
that?
In this case, this doesn't. Well, I can't speak for. I'm not a mother. I can't speak for single mothers. But she's not a single mother. She's a single. She's a married woman with no kids. So this doesn't even apply to her. But and she should. That's the next thing I was going to say. She should not get pregnant. So nobody will be talking about empowering single mother. She's not a mother. So there's no. You gotta be all these things that they're saying. It does not include her. She's not at that stage yet. So she should be going. But I feel like I feel like I don't think it's true per se. I don't think it's true per se. I feel like it can go both ways. It can go both ways. Like think about it. Like you're a woman here. You're working, and if you're making more than your husband and you divorce, I'm sure here you have to pay him something, right?
Of course. Of
Exactly. So
course.
it just depends on what's happening. You get me? If you're working here, and you as a woman, you're working and it doesn't work out, you're gonna have to pay the man. So you won't say that,
Yeah.
oh, because I'm a woman, I shouldn't have to pay him. No, it's
Yeah.
they're gonna look at who is making more in the household.
Yeah,
So
the equality is what a lot of the patriarchy uncles cannot. I mean, I was listening to the video when we were talking the other day about that fake video that was going around about how UK Met Police said, "Don't call police on your husband," and these two men were sitting on TVC. I'm talking about uncles, the one that you, because you sound like a much younger woman, and these are the ones that you call uncles. My daughter will say is an uncle. Anybody that is above 40 is an uncle. And you should see what these men were saying. Oh my God, it was so heartbreaking. They
Hmm.
completely blamed the environment, they blamed the country. They said
I
nobody
mean, I feel
addresses
like
the,
they should go back to Nigeria and let Tinubu deal with them. If that's what I don't know. I don't understand why you come to a country.
you blame the country for the laws that
You
the
get
country.
me?
Who
Like
told you
if
to come here?
you don't have to come here. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't say like, oh my God, Tinubu, this, the cost of this, the gas, this, and then you come to a country that's working, and there's a reason why it's working. They're following principles. They have processes. They have laws in order, and you want to pick and choose which one to. You got me, which one should work and which one shouldn't work, or which one you should abide to. It doesn't work like that, and that's why Nigeria is where it is, because people pick and choose what they think should, like, they don't follow principles and processes. You get me? And with every principle and processes, it's going to benefit somebody and not benefit someone else, and in another situation will benefit the other person and not benefit. Do you get me? It's
Yeah,
balance. It's not
yeah.
just, it's balance, and that's why it's working. I think
Mm,
I heard something like, it could be, I can't remember where I heard it from. They say like for every like a country is only as strong as the women,
mm,
like the
yeah,
nation, the economy is only as strong as the women in that
yeah.
economy. So if you see like economies like Germany, those type of, and the UK here, you see the women are earning just like the men are earning, and that's why
Mm,
their economies are like that. If you look at a country like maybe Afghanistan now,
mm,
you
mhm.
get me, you see the difference
Yeah,
of how that works, and you can see
mm,
it's manifested in the country.
yeah.
So I'll just go back to the woman in question. She shouldn't pretend. I know it's like, oh my god, she's bonded to him because that's her husband, because they're sleeping together. But she really should start recording what he's doing, like the last caller said. Start recording, if it's text messages, if it's voice recordings, if it's like a camera, like she said, and keep it. If she has to create like another email and be sending it to that email, just be sending it to the email, like another
Mm,
fake email, so that she can gather it when she really wants to, get this over and done with. I
mm,
say get on birth control. If her husband
mm,
isn't going to be being a monitoring spirit, get on birth control or have the morning after pill. She shouldn't get pregnant. She shouldn't have a reason to be tied by this man for life
mm.
because of a child. Like,
Absolutely,
that's the
absolutely.
first thing she should do to help herself. She should not lose her job in this economy where people are looking for jobs. She has one, and then some man is going to tell me, "Are you okay in this economy where people are getting laid off? The wife has a job, and you're telling her not to work in this economy? Hey, she should dare not lose. Like, not even forget him, but like, look at the economy. She should not lose that job. I
Yeah.
would say I would contact HR. Like someone said, create a new account,
Mm,
and say, oh, can the money stop coming to this account, and can it be going to this account? You can go to HR and talk to them about it. If you want to pretend you've lost the job,
mm,
and you want to start studying, and that's where you're going out, like to go and study, but you're actually going to work. If you want to
mm,
start doing that, so you can start saving maybe for the next 2 months salary, like escape funds for the next two
mm.
months maybe that's what she needs to do. So that's
Yeah.
what she needs to do.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shirley. So that's why I like you, Gen Z people. You don't take nonsense from nobody. I appreciate you for calling, darling. God bless you. You don't take nonsense. So if I were in her situation, the first thing is that 70%, that's where I'm going to start. I'm not giving you 70%. That is not the arrangement that we made. You didn't, I mean, we agreed on something. And even if I am going to contribute to the household bills, I'm not dropping 70% of my income because obviously you earn more. So that's where the wahala will start. So, if she was a very manipulative person who wants to use the situation, and that's why I know she's a good person. If it's somebody that wants to use that situation, I mean, somebody in the comment section, I think Wahala Day or someone was saying how their friend's wife came here and used domestic violence that was even forced to get her papers. If people can use domestic violence falsely, you that is going through it, You see, there are different kinds of people. Somebody that is actually going through it is saying, no, I don't want police, so I don't want police. But somebody that is not going through it will use it just because they marry the person for whatever reasons. So, yeah, I'm not dropping my 70%. I won't. And let the wahala start from there. If I don't drop my 70%, you decide that you want to beat me now, I'll have my spill dial on 999. As you start the slabs, the police are hearing everything. Continue, then they will come and arrest you. Shebi, everybody should be crazy. I'm never going to advise anybody that is staying in a domestic violence situation that don't call the police or whatever. No. The Oyibo people that put the laws there, they put it to protect their sisters, their mothers, their daughters. If you don't like it, pack your belongings. Go back to Africa where you can beat and buy and do whatever you like, and nobody will ask you. Oh, it's not Coach Ben. Hello. Tonya, darling. Hi.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening, Auntie B. How are you?
I'm good, my love.
I've just taken down notes of what I want to highlight. Most of the previous callers have done really, really well. Very well. Auntie B, is this lady in her 20s or in her 30s? Because don't see maturity, like emotional. It seems to me like she's waiting for that strong approval before she can take that bold step. Relying on family members or in-laws or her own parents to decide. How
And
young is she?
I don't think it's a question of age. It's just a question of what has been put in her head before she got here. From Nigeria, they've been telling her, "Hey, whatever happens, oh, it's your husband, oh, just take it, oh, don't call police. If it's CROB or DBS ruins, it's your fault." Yeah, it's programming. It's not
Right.
age.
Okay.
There are
The
younger women
main
that are more feisty, and they will not like, the young lady that called before you. You heard the way she was talking. It's about programming, it's about mindsets.
Okay. Let me quickly run through the points I've written, and I will not expatiate too much on it because they're very clear. The first one is leave, 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 leave to leave. That's what I have to say to this young lady. Leave to leave now. Number two, consider installing camera in the house or get one of these ones off Amazon. And it's like a pen. You wear it on you, on your shirt, on your clothes. All you need is just to click, it will start. Could be audio recording, could be video recording. But please consider getting that. And it doesn't cost more than £29. They are is based on the quality you're looking for. But you get that voice recording. Have it on you. That should be what she need right now. Again, if she doesn't have the money, she should let us know.
Of course.
So some
Mm,
of us will be more than happy to. I personally will be more than happy to buy it and send it to her. And it
yeah,
doesn't need to come to her address. I
yeah.
can
You can come
send
to
it
her
off to an
workplace.
Amazon locker and
Yeah,
she'll just go and pick it up there herself. So it doesn't have to come to her home address if he's
yeah.
monitoring every delivery she gets. Please get this camera,
Mm-hmm.
please. And start recording. Now, the third, number three, I'm thinking her parents, her father, well, is an assumption, but it could be that this lady grew up where Basbos is normal. There is like if it's not aunties, uncles, father, mother, it's just Basbos everywhere. They are beating, just pana beating people, and she think it's okay. And if both of them, she and this her husband, were in Nigeria, for instance, she wouldn't be complaining. Doesn't make it right, but it seems to me like she has grown up seeing a lot of this physical
No.
assault.
Mm-mm. 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 Again, you are getting it wrong, Tonya. She didn't grow up saying it. It
She
is
never
him.
did.
No, he is the one that grew up saying it. But she has been conditioned and programmed to accept it. It's a different thing. Remember, if they are coming to Nigeria to marry you, they make you feel like they're doing you a favor,
They're doing you a
bringing you
favor,
here.
which
Yeah.
is not true.
No, she didn't. She told me that there's nothing like that. Her parents are still together.
So
Her
her
mom has
parents
told
had
her,
she has not grown up seeing a physical assault. Why is she
no,
accepting it? Like this man will never change. each and every one of us is saying to her, this man will never change. He will
Mm,
not change. I know she's holding on to that last glimpse of miracle. That something might happen just at the last minute, at the 99th hour, there'll be miracle, but he's not going to change.
mm,
So if it's not normal for you seeing beating, whatever condition he has put in you, please, it is wrong. Don't
mm,
accept that. Leave. And number 4, I'm going to highlight this one very well. My sister, please do not have a child for this man at all.
mm.
Don't have a child with him. It's going to be messy. Don't. If you are worried of were you going to remarry, definitely you're going to remarry again. If it is what you want. Are you going to have a child again? Yes, you will, but not with this man. Please do not have a child with this man. You're in the UK, where all you need to do is go and meet your GP, and there's lots of contraception that contraceptions are available, and he won't find it. You
Mm.
seems to me like you're very, very scared of him. So pills is out of it definitely. No
Her
matter
mom
how
has
much you
told her
hide
to
it.
leave. Yeah, for context, the mom told her to leave.
Good. And the 5th one is anti pity yourself, please. Choose yourself. Pity yourself. Choose you, myself, and I. That should be your slogan. Me, myself, and I. You keep saying, I don't want him to lose his license. I don't want to be the reason why he gets into trouble. I can't call the police because it will be difficult. Help me. Now we are telling you, each and every one of us is so passionate about this. Some people are really, really tensed and very angry. They don't even want to call because they fear they might just lash out or like tell you what advice are you looking for again, where is just staring at you korokoro in the eyes. Your friends have told you, your GPs, like everybody around you, you know what to do. Call the police, and you're here asking us, what should I do? The the obvious thing to do is report it. Leave. There are lots of shelters available for you. Leave while you are still alive. And finally, to every one of us, self-defense is so key, it's paramount, it's very, very important. You have young kids. As you are paying lots of money for tutoring, extra classes, and all of them, um, private in schools and all, please consider self-defense classes too for
Mm,
our children. It's very
mhm.
important too. Auntie B was saying she's tall. I've met you in person. I'm also tall. Me and you are not know who to pass. But
I thought
they
I
never
see.
born they never born that person. Eh?
Oh, Tonya.
Like you will look at me, raise your hand, and I'll
No,
be watching the hand like slow motion, India movie. Eh? Slow motion, the hand will be coming. And that's it, bah on my face. Eh?
and it's not even about
Seriously.
height. Oh, even some short girls, you know, see some short girls where they when that you
They
don't
will
try,
do
even
what
with
that
their
they will climb chair, give it to you, or knock you on the
they will,
head
they will
if they have
jump
to.
up.
No, not like you raise your hand, it will be coming. I'll see it coming. Slow motion. Eh? Eh? It will not land in my
That's why
face.
I'm
Then the
surprised when
next thing,
she said 10 slaps.
then
I
I'll
said,
not be counting one, two.
hey,
Then the
ha,
third one, I am everything was blurry. I couldn't see. Then the fourth one until the 10th one before you ran away. Eh, how
some people
about
they try.
now? Do
10
you know
me.
that if you had tried, okay, now the first thing to do is move, leave. We've all said that. Leave, take yourself away from that place, and please don't come back. Again, the cycle of abuse will you go, you come back, you leave, you come back until it's broken 4 times, 5 times. But do you know that if you had retaliated or defend yourself, there's also even a law that covers that one in terms of self-defense. Person
Mm,
don't buy another person, they say it's self-defense, and you will win with a good lawyer.
yep.
That's all I have to contribute. Thank you all
Thank
so
you, my
much.
darling. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you. God bless you. Miss Scotland. I appreciate you. I need to come to Scotland next summer. I love Scotland. Hi, Nelly. You just jumped in now when we're about to end. What do you have to say? Where are you joining us from?
Hi, Auntie B. Can you hear me?
Yes, my dear.
Okay, this is my first time. I always watch and I'm so nervous because this one hit
Ah,
me so much. I'm like, nope, I have to call in. Yeah, I'm
ah.
calling from Columbus, Ohio, in the United States.
Is it in the same Ohio that has that
I knew
spring
she was gonna
feeder?
say
They are
that.
eating the cats and eating the dogs. They are eating your pets.
Yes, yes, it's Springfield.
Every time
Yeah,
I hear that
yep,
Ohio now, that is what comes to my head. You
yeah,
guys,
and
yeah, I love you. American politics is so interesting, and Donald Trump is completely crazy. Honestly,
yeah, I knew you were gonna say that when I say Columbus, Ohio.
and Springfield, Ohio. I saw it on telly. They are eating the
Yeah,
cats. They are eating the dogs.
yeah. I mean, Donald Trump is
Welcome, my
something
darling.
else. Thank you, thank you. I'm like, first thing I would tell her is honestly, I never knew I would be saying this today. I never knew I could even share it, but I know God is telling me, told me, want me to do something in life. That's why that happened to me 5 years ago.
Mm,
My advice to her is please run. You don't have any kids.
mm.
You do not have any kids at all. I did not have kids too, so I ran. Mine was less than 5 months. But the difference was I was established, I was working, and I was the one that brought him. I left my house for him and ran for my life.
You mean you brought him to the abroad
Yes, I brought him to
and,
the United States. I filed
and he
for
was
him.
beating you in your house?
No, he never. One thing, mine wasn't beaten. He never touched me for one day. But the emotional abuse, the kerewa,
Right.
no kerewa. So
Ah.
it's just people marrying people that are agege or something. Yeah, something like
Mhm.
that. So mine, I noticed it, and it wasn't even. He will never, ever, 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 ever change. There's nothing. They will never change. Mine was just emotional abuse and everything. And he called. So what? Why I left the house was I paid all the bills when he came. He never even asked me, how are you paying all the bills? Rather, he was incurring more debts on me. I kept paying it. But when I noticed everything and I cut everything off I was doing for him, I started cutting things off. For example, the car insurance, the internet at home, right? He just one day I came back from work and I took all the because I called the service provider, cut off my internet, but he found a way to they are always smart. He found a way to connect it, like use a wire to connect it manually. He connected it. I came back. I'm like, nope, you can't use my internet. I took it away. You know what he did? He went and called the police on me. That was what happened. No argument, no beating, nothing that day. So when he called the police, he told the police, I was in front of him looking at him. He was lying against me that I brought into this country to use him. He washes my undies. I abuse him. I want to. He says all sorts of things. I cry. You know how they say in the Bible, Jesus wept. I wept and I was
Mm.
shaking. As soon as they left, I packed a little box and ran away and went to a hotel. I left my apartment for him and I went to a hotel to stay. And I never came back until he left. Until
Did he have
today,
a
I
green
left.
card?
Yeah, he has a temporary green card, 2 years. Yes.
And after that,
Yes.
did he not need you to renew it?
Yeah, he never needed me, but he never needed me. He never called me. This is 5 years because he told me I will never have kids. I will not do this. I have two beautiful kids, and my marriage is going so well. That's how marriage
You
is supposed to
remarried.
be. Oh yeah.
Wow.
After 5 years, and I'm still
Congratulations.
standing here telling her that she will remarry. She'll be happy again, but she has to leave first
Hmm.
to get that happiness.
Did you
I
have to
left
go
and
back to Nigeria or to
no, no,
Africa
it
to
was
marry?
here. No, he wasn't even in Africa. I mean, I know he might come across this video, but I want to share it for awareness because I know someday my story can help someone. He was actually in Australia, so I felt like, oh, he's in Australia, so it's not like Nigeria. He was doing well and everything, so it's not like I'm bringing someone that is a novice or somebody that I'm trying to like tell what to do, right? So I just felt that way, but I didn't know it's all the same. But yeah,
Mm,
so my advice to you, my dear sister, I wish you live very close to me. I will encourage you more, be with you, talk to you if you need to, do anything I can in my power to help you out because I'm very passionate about this. And it hurts me when women go through this because I know what I went through for only 5 months. Imagine going through it for 4 years.
mm,
Please, I beg you, you don't have kids. Please, just leave. Your mom is even, your parents are supportive. Please go. I beg you. That's just all
mm.
I have, Sister B. Please.
Thank
go.
you so much, Nelly. You need to
Yeah.
absolutely come and share your story with us
I'll
because
keep.
we like
Yeah,
happy endings.
yeah,
Yours is a
it's
happy
really happy.
ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's really happy ending because this is how
And I feel
marriage
like
should be.
we don't talk a lot about emotional
A happy
abuse.
ending,
So
yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
we need to talk more about that. And please come and share your story with us. It can help somebody. And if you are passionate about that, then you absolutely have to share your story. You don't need to
yeah.
mention names, but I mean, it's
Oh yeah,
something that's in your
definitely.
past. It can help somebody. It can.
Yeah,
Because a
I'll
lot
come
of
and
people,
share
unfortunately, they don't see emotional abuse as
as
abuse.
anything.
Yeah, but it's also it's a slippery slope. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Nelly. God bless you, my darling. Do come and share. Yeah, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you for all the advice for this young lady. I think we've all agreed that yeah, Mango Parks do not change. This is who he is. Yeah, Mango Parks, they are who they are. There's nothing, it's not your fault, it's not your making. You didn't put the anger in him, it's not because of your behavior, because you know I'm raising my sons that no matter, let's say you are married to the most cantankerous woman in this world, it still does not give you the right to put your hands on her. Okay? Walk away. You can leave the relationship. Do anything you need to do, but you mustn't abuse someone else. And yeah, Mongo Parks, they know what they're doing because you go to work every day, you are smiling and then you come home, you see this person that is helpless because they brainwash her that he's abroad, oh, he's a doctor, oh, if you couple, you don't go and look at Doctor, what was that doctor on Instagram that I did his story the other day? He's older than you. I think he's an older man. Go and look at him and see the way he's loving his wife, even on social media, telling you about how he doesn't go out. He doesn't. He's a doctor. You think he's not? We all have different things that we confront in our places of work. This is abroad. You face a lot of discrimination. You face, racism. There will people who mock you because of your accent, your accent. But you don't, Dr. Zoe. Thank you very much, Lady Uzo. Empress, thank you. But you see, when it is who you are, and I think, unfortunately, in this situation, the parents already know. The mom knows that he has anger issues. That's why the younger one say, "Babe, leave. My brother is like this." So that tells me something for the younger ones to say to the wife that he's always been like this. He's an angry person, and the mother is saying, it's you that can make him change. Why are women like this? Why do we put so much burden on fellow women? Why do we commission our gender to take on responsibility for what you are not capable of doing? You don't have the capacity to change another person. No, you don't. Instead of you to tell your son, go to anger management class, please don't ruin your reputation. This is UK. As a doctor, once you have a criminal record, it's going to affect your practice. You might not be able to practice in the UK, especially if it's domestic violence. Instead, you are telling the wife, yeah, it's you that will change him. Pray for him now. Okay, keep quiet if he's talking. You don't address the problem. Instead, is the is the victims that usually have the responsibility to fix the abuser. That is how diabolic our culture is. It is something that is so annoying that you are the victim and they put the responsibility on you that you are the one that will fix the mango pack. You are the one that will help your abuser not to abuse you. I mean, when you tell these things to Oyibo people, they will look and they will look at you as, I mean, are you kidding? Are you joking? They will look at you. That's why sometimes they look at us and they shake their head. Because these things, I'm even ashamed to say it. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Mothers, a lot of us here are mothers now. We need to do better, please. Stop encouraging your children, especially your sons, to be behaving in a way that you don't want your daughters, to be in a relationship with men like that. As you are training your daughters, train your sons. We are seeing the ripple effect of a lot of men, brothers, uncles, whatever, name them, that were not held accountable. They were not even told of. Their parents keep pampering them and telling them, you are the best. You are the best thing that ever happens in sliced bread. And then you end up with all these men. Some of them are so, toxic. Some women are toxic as well. But I don't see anybody that is telling men, if you have a toxic wife that is abusive, that you should sit down and be tolerating it. They will tell you, run, no, run for your life. This woman is not good. She's dead. She's a devil. She will buy you. If we tell men not to tolerate abuse or not to tolerate disrespect or bad wives, why do we tell women to continue to endure and pray for their abusers to change? And then people start buying. Then when the person will not buy, you say, why didn't you leave now? Why didn't you leave? The hypocrisy of it all is overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So I'm sure you're going to watch this, young lady. You've heard everything that would have found. You came to them for advice. They've advised you. It's up to you to do with what you like with this advice. He's never going to change. The 10 slaps will become 20, 20 will become 50. You will pass out. And he's eventually going to buy you. It's going to happen. It's just a question of when. Suru to Lord Johnny. It's just a question of when. So I pray you listen to good counsel. It doesn't matter if you say I'm going to get no. He will promise you that he's going to get help. Is he doing it? Does he even acknowledge that he has a problem? No. So you got to save yourself. Nobody will save you, my dear. Forget about indefinite leave and run for your life. Now they live now they get green card and indefinite leave. When they are alive now, even they are abroad. If you buy abroad, does not matter. It doesn't matter. I pray that you make the right decisions and going forward that you're going to safeguard yourself. Because as we see it now, nobody's going to save anybody. You save yourself. And I hope that you're able to make informed decisions with all the advice, very good advice that you've been given tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you. Please give this video a thumbs up, share it, like, and subscribe. And I shall see you guys in my next video. Thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening. If you like it, share the story with us, or if you are a survivor or you're going through it, you need help, you need advice, DM me, email me, whatever works for you. We're here. We'll continue to listen and offer advice. Abuse kills people. It ruins lives. Please don't be an abuser. Don't be an abuser. Get help. If you know you need help, get help. Because it is not the best. You promise to love, you promise to protect, you promise to, honor, you promise all these promises you made. How do you protect somebody that you're slapping 10 times? 10 times. It is well, oh. Sissy said, if she hasn't listened to his siblings or her own family, hopefully what someone said today will resonate with her. I hope so too. Thank you very much, everybody. Abuse is a death sentence. Run and save your life. Okay? Thank you very much. See you guys soon. Bye, guys. I love you. Bye-bye.